I'm Jason. The world is yours. This is the NBA playoffs game one. Denver Nuggets versus Golden State Warriors box score recap. Golden State Warriors defeat the Denver Nuggets 123 to 107 in the game one series of the NBA playoffs. Let's check out the box score. The Denver Nuggets leading scorer was Jokic at 25 points. He had a double-double in this game, 25 points and 10 rebounds, but he was over 4 from three-pointer. This second leading scorer was Will Barton at 24 points, and Morris dropped 10. But the Nuggets only had one player off the bench that scored 10 points. That's Highland. He had scored double digits, excuse me. And that was Highland. He had 10 points. Everybody else was at 3, 3, 0, 7, 5, and 5. So not really a great effort from the Nuggets off of the bench. They're going to need a lot more scoring off of the bench just to even keep up in this series. Let's check out the Warriors box score. As you can see, the leading scorer for the Warriors in this game was Jordan Poole. Steph Curry did actually come off of the bench. He was the only Warriors player that scored double digits off of the bench. But Steph Curry did come off of the bench in this game, as he has been injured the last month or so, a little bit over a month, maybe a little bit less than a month. So he hasn't played in a while. As you can see, he played 22 minutes in this game. Peyton II also had 20 minutes off of the bench for the Warriors. But Steph Curry had 16 points coming off of the bench. We'll see if he comes off the bench the second game of this series. His foot did look good. He was only 5 for 13, but that's just him probably getting back into rhythm. I would expect Steph Curry to be back in the starting lineup, right, for game 2. But maybe not. Maybe Steph Curry doesn't play in the starting lineup game 2. This was kind of a blowout 16-point game. And as I mentioned, Jordan Poole is the hot hand. You could see he was 5 for 7 from three-pointers in this game, and he was the leading scorer. So I would not be surprised, because this is a first-round series, that Steph Curry does come off of the bench after a long injury in game 2. I think the Warriors they may just kind of breeze through this series versus Denver. Let's check out some of these other stats. Not too many other stats that I was noticing that I wanted to mention. There was a stat that I noticed that was kind of interesting. As you can see, there's a few stats here. Just the blocks. Denver only had 3 blocks in this game, and the Warriors had 8 blocks. So that was an interesting stat. And another stat that I noticed that was very interesting was the personal fouls. Denver had 22 personal fouls. This is very important. And the Warriors had 22 personal fouls. Let's look at the free throws for each team, right? Now, both teams had 22 personal fouls, the same amount of fouls per team, right? Now let's look at the free throw situation. Denver were 10 for 13. They've only shot 13 free throws in this game. They got fouled 22 times, right? So, okay, if you think about that, right? Now let's look at the Warriors. 22 fouls per team, right? Each team had 22 fouls. And now if you look at the Warriors stat here, the Warriors were 21 for 29. So Warriors had 11 points just off of free throws, and they shot 19. No, not 19. They shot 16 more free throws than Denver. So Denver does have to figure that out. I mean, that's going to be tough, because if you think about it, it wasn't like Denver were like in foul trouble. As I mentioned, both teams had 22 fouls. Denver, I guess, would just obviously committing more fouls when the Warriors were in shooting. So Denver, they will have to figure that out in game 2, how to not necessarily foul someone in a shooting motion. But as I mentioned, that was an interesting stat. Both teams had 22 fouls. Not any foul trouble. Joker had 4 fouls, so he was kind of close, but for the most part, not any foul trouble for either team. Both teams 22 fouls, but the Denver Nuggets only had 13 free throws, and the Warriors had 29 free throws. So an interesting game 1. This series, you don't want to call it over yet. This is a 7-game series. the Warriors, they don't have to win any road games. So we will see what happens in game 2. Will Curry still be coming off the bench? I'm gonna assume that he probably will come off of the bench. I mean, with Jordan Poole dropping 30 in this game, you would imagine you probably stay with the hot hand. If Jordan Poole only had like 13 in this game, you would imagine you probably go back to Curry. But this interesting first round series for the Warriors. They look pretty strong in their first game. The Warriors are the number 3 seed, so the winner of this series will play the winner of the 2-7 series. Just to note, Minnesota did defeat Memphis in that first game. So right now, each series, Warriors is leading their series and Minnesota is leading their series. I'm Jason. The world is yours. This was a NBA playoffs game 1. Denver Nuggets versus Golden State Warriors. Box score recap. Warriors win by 16, 123-107. Top scorers. Jordan Poole had 30 points for the Warriors. And Joker had 25 points for the Nuggets in a losing effort. I'm Jason. The world is yours. Thank you for watching.